Hello everyone and welcome back to the Emotionally Intelligent series. In today's episode, we are going to be covering the second and also one of the most important factors of emotional intelligence, which is nothing but self-management of emotions. Now, as we're all aware, emotions play a very important part in our day-to-day lives. But quite often, there are certain negative emotions that we experience that can actually affect our mental health and also put a pause in the smooth flow and functioning of our day. So, I'm going to be giving you a few techniques of self-management that are going to help you effectively manage these emotions. So, let's get started. The first one is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is nothing but being in the present, being in the now, and providing a very non judgmental space to understand certain emotions and thoughts. Now, you can practice mindfulness in different ways. In fact, I will try to make a much more detailed episode about mindfulness in the upcoming episodes. But for now, just to give you a small brief, mindfulness can be practiced in different ways. You could practice meditation or body scan. Body scan is where you take the time to remain silent and reflect and understand what are the different sensations and feelings you have in the different parts of your bodies. Mindfulness also extends to mindfulness in eating, mindfulness in walking, and so on. The second most important technique over here that you can use in order to manage your emotions effectively is known as cognitive restructuring. Now, cognitive restructuring is nothing but understanding certain negative emotions, becoming aware of certain negative emotions and thoughts, rather, and then challenging these negative thoughts in order to create much more positive thoughts and emotions. So, let's say, for example, you have a negative thought about an upcoming project. Let's say the thought is that I am definitely going to fail at this project. Now, in this case, cognitive restructuring would include first identifying this negative thought of I am going to fail at this project. Next, you're going to be asking a series of questions to yourself. Whether is this a fact or is it just a perception? You could also ask the question if there is any evidence that backs this specific thought, or is there any evidence that contradicts this specific thought. Now, once you answer this series of questions, you're definitely going to be left with one simple answer that this is just a thought. It does not hold, any kind of truth, or it is not the absolute truth. And this basically forms the base for you to now restructure or to form a new thought over here. In this case, it could be, I know I do not have everything in control, but I do have certain factors about this project in control. And if I do this, I can actually be successful in this project. So now you've seen how you've taken a negative thought, it creates certain negative emotions, and you've restructured it into a positive thought that is now making you feel much more confident and better. The third technique that you can practice is doing some kind of physical activity during the day. Now, if you usually notice, whenever you are experiencing a negative emotion, it could be of sadness or anxiety in a specific day, and I just want you to reflect on what you've been doing that day. Most of the times, a lot of people just lay in bed the whole day and you're doing nothing because your body is not willing to do something. And I also want you to look at certain days when you've experienced a positive emotion, or it could be of happiness or excitement. Now, usually, if you reflect on those days, you will notice that these days are filled with a lot of physical activities, not particularly in exercise only, but you tend to do a lot of things. Now, that's how our brains are wired. Okay, so in case you are experiencing certain negative emotions, what you can do is actually start doing some kind of physical activity. It could either be doing certain physical exercises or going out and doing something that you really like that involves a lot of body movement. What happens here is you're signaling your brain to again induce that specific emotion that is much more positive. So physical activity in the form of exercises or other things can actually help boost your mood. It can also help reduce anxiety to greater levels. The fourth technique you can practice is relaxation. Now, it is very, very difficult in today's time to relax. In fact, one of the most difficult things to do is to sit back and relax. Relaxation is very important because it gives your mind the much needed break that it deserves from the continuous thinking and analyzing and processing. So try to relax or schedule a time for relaxation. Now, relaxation does not only mean sleeping. Yes, maintaining a healthy sleeping pattern and sleeping schedule is very important, but relaxation also means taking the much necessary breaks during your, you know, almost busy day and cluttered day to just sit back and breathe and be in the present. Okay, so you can practice again relaxation. I mean, you can relax by practicing meditation or do some deep breathing exercises that can help you calm down. The next technique over here is getting support. Now, over here, what I mean is speaking to friends and families about your thoughts, share your emotions with them. Now, a very important point that you need to note here is try to find friends and families that are non-judgmental. That is, they are more of good listeners rather than people who are waiting to hop on to just give you their piece of advice, or waiting to hop on to just criticize you or tell you, you know, this is just going to pass and things like that. So finding friends and families who provide a non-judgmental space is very important. Also, what you can do is look around and try to research about certain support groups where you can discuss, share your emotions, your thoughts, and also get a lot of feedback of how people around you are managing their thoughts, their emotions, and how are they managing themselves effectively. So support groups could really prove to be very helpful for you. And one of the last techniques that I would suggest is seeking professional help. That is, if you find it, first of all, it is not at all impossible to manage emotions, especially the negative ones. But if you find it difficult, even after you have tried to employ all of these techniques, if you're finding it difficult to manage your emotions effectively, then there is no harm in seeking professional help. That is, getting someone who is certified and educated and has the skills and knowledge to help you navigate and manage these emotions effectively. So I hope this video has, proven to be helpful, and I hope that you try to employ most of these techniques to manage your emotions in a much better way. And I'm quite aware that I have discussed all of these techniques in brief, but I will take certain techniques out of this list and make a much more detailed video and give you certain activities that can help you practically apply these techniques. So stay tuned to the further episodes.